should say. I took the glass, and after a good deal of difficulty managed to catch sight of the lump of rock he had pointed out. There was the gleaming thread of silver, too, with, plainly seen through the clear atmosphere and gilded by the sun, quite a tiny cloud of vapour slowly rising in the air. "Is that another hot spring, doctor?" I said, as I kept my glass fixed upon the spot. "Or our black's fire," said the doctor. "It might be either, or in addition it might be a fire lit by enemies, or at all events savages; but as it is in the direction in which we are expecting to find our camp, and there seem to be no enemies near, I am in favour of that being camp. Come, time is slipping by. Let's start downward now." I nodded and turned to Jack Penny, who all this while had been resting his back by lying flat upon the ground, and that he was asleep was proved by the number of ants and other investigating insects which were making a tour all over his long body, Gyp meanwhile looking on and sniffing at anything large, such as a beetle, with the result of chasing the visitor away. We roused Jack and started, having to make a detour so as to secure Jimmy's kangaroo, which he shouldered manfully, for though it offered us no temptation we knew it would delight the men in camp. The descent was much less laborious than the ascent, but it took a long time, and the sun was fast sinking lower, while as we approached the plains every few hundred yards seemed to bring us into a warmer stratum of air, while we kept missing the pleasant breeze of the higher ground. If we could have made a bee line straight to where the smoke rose, the task would have been comparatively easy, but we had to avoid this chasm, that piled up mass of rocks, and as we went lower, first thorny patches of scrub impeded our passage, and lower still there was the impenetrable forest. I was getting fearfully tired, and Jack Penny had for a long time been perfectly silent, while Jimmy, who was last, took to uttering a low groan every now and then, at times making it a sigh as he looked imploringly at me, evidently expecting me to share his heavy load. I was too tired and selfish, I'm afraid, and I trudged on till close upon sundown, when it occurred to me that I had not heard Jimmy groan or sigh for some time, and turning to speak to him I waited till he came up, walking easily and lightly, with his spear acting as a staff. "Why, Jimmy, where's the kangaroo?" I said. "Wallaby, old man, Mass Joe?" he said, nodding his head on one side like a sparrow. "Yes, where is it?" "Bad 'un," he said sharply. "Jimmy smell up poo boo. Bad. Not good eat. No get camp a night. Jimmy fro all away." "Thrown it away!" I cried. "Yes, bad ums. Jimmy fro all away." "You lazy humbug!" I said with a laugh, in which he good humouredly joined. "Yes, yes, Jimmy lazy umbug. Fro all away." "But I say, look here, Jimmy," I said anxiously, "what do you mean?" "Light fire here, go asleep. Find camp a morning. All away, right away. Not here, no." He ended by shaking his head, and I called to the doctor. "Jimmy says we shall not find the camp," I said hastily, "and that we are going wrong." "I know it," he said quietly, "but we cannot get through this forest patch, so we must go wrong for a time, then strike off to the right." But we found no opportunity of striking off to the right. Everywhere it was impenetrable forest, and at last we had to come to a halt on the edge, for the darkness was black, and to have gone on meant feeling our way step by step. End of chapter 25. How I was disposed to find fault with my best friend.